What's happening, YouTube? It's Simon466cards, and today we're doing a reaction video to Brian Gray's podcast or YouTube video talking about what if Caitlin Clark gets pregnant. Now, I want to preface this entire video and reaction to it by saying that I actually quite like Brian Gray. I find him to be the most entertaining interview and personality probably in the entire hobby. He did a great video, which I loved, with Dustin, the sports card dad. And I'm looking forward to seeing the next one of those sets. So I actually like Brian as a person and not as a personality. And I also want to say that the point he's trying to make in this video about properly assessing risk and thinking about risk before buying a card as an investment vehicle, I think that makes all the sense in the world. But the example that he uses, in this case, Caitlin Clark getting pregnant and the risk involved with that, I completely disagree with. And I think it's honestly just a terrible take. And I'm going to play a portion of the video here, and then we'll talk about it.
So here's what happens. If she gets pregnant, she misses 1 year of basketball. The seasons are short anyway. She misses a whole season. That's brutal. This is the part where I hate the way it's going to sound, but I mean it. What if she likes her kid? What if she actually wants to spend time with her kid once she has her kid? If she has a kid. If she has a kid, what if she likes it? And what if she wants to spend time with a child?
So this is the part that I don't know if it's possible for me to disagree with anything more. And he keeps saying this throughout the video later. What if Caitlin Clark gets pregnant and likes her kid, wants to spend time with her kid? And to me, it's possible to love your child and also play the game, play the sport that you love, and succeed in that sport. It's not an either or choice. It can be an and. And if she were to get pregnant, she would get all the support in the world off the court, from her sponsors, from the league, from the team. You don't think that all of her sponsors would line up to make sure she has all the nannies and dietitians and trainers in the world to get her back on the court and make her supported off the court and daycare and whatever else? And then it seems nonsensical to me. And then in terms of WNBA players getting pregnant and coming back to the court and succeeding, this has been done multiple times. Let me introduce you to Nafisa Collier. She had a daughter, you can see on the screen highlighted there, May 25th, 2022. So that's 2022, she had a baby. 2023, she finished 4th in MVP voting. 2024, she finished 2nd in MVP voting, won Defensive Player of the Year, took her team to the WNBA Finals. This year, she made the All-Star team and will either finish 1st or 2nd in MVP voting. Second example, Candace Parker, you can see here, had a daughter born in 2009. So that's 2009. In 2012, finished 2nd MVP voting. 2013, 1st. 2014, 4th. 2015, 5th. 2016, 5th. 2017, 3rd. 2018, 4th. You get the deal. And Candace Parker won an WNBA title in, 2016 and 2021. So this idea that you can't have a baby and play and love your child is insane to me. Like, people have kids, mothers have kids, and go back to work and love their child. They can balance both things. And the other part of his video is talking about how Caitlin Clark is rich enough to just say, like, screw it, I'm done with the WNBA. I don't like the treatment I'm getting in the WNBA. Like, I'm now going to retire and walk off in the sunset. At the age of, and I just want to make this sure, at the age of 23, 24, 25, if this happens in the next couple of years, what he overlooks completely and doesn't seem to consider at all is that Caitlin Clark loves basketball and has trained her entire life to reach this stage. And if you go to a Wikipedia page, she says she drew inspiration from Maya Moore of the Minnesota Lynx. Maya Moore, if you're unaware, is one of the greatest players in WNBA history and attended her games here. She admired Harrison Barnes and blah, 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 blah. Like, she loves basketball and has trained her entire life to play basketball. She's not going to just suddenly lose that passion overnight because she had a baby. She would get the support to do both, to do what Candace Parker did and Nafisa Collier did, and play basketball for the WNBA and also raise a child if that were to be the case. And another thing, Nike announced here on August the 25th that Caitlin Clark is their new signature athlete, which means she's getting her own Caitlin Clark logo, she's getting sportswear and apparel, and the most important thing of all, she's getting her own shoe, right? I don't know how many athletes have had their own shoe and then retired within a couple of years. You go look that up and do some research for me, because I can't think of anybody like that. And if you scroll down here, it says, from Clark, in her statement, to me, this is more than just a logo, it's a dream come true. People always talk about leaving your mark on the game, and this is another way I can do that. She wants to leave a mark on the game of basketball, and specifically women's basketball. You can't do that if you suddenly decide to retire in 2 to 3 years. So she's clearly in this for the long haul. And so to assume that all of a sudden that's going to disappear if she had a baby, to me, is kind of insane, and really not knowing who Caitlin Clark is and what she's about. And so that's why, to me, this video, this hot take from Brian is wrong, because the example is really poor. I think the point he's trying to make about measuring risk and accurately assessing risk is correct, but the idea that Caitlin Clark getting pregnant is a risk is something I completely disagree with. Now, if you're looking for a way to think about risk and how it relates to the sports card market, I made a video 5 months ago talking about another hobby darling, Wemby, and how to consider risk and how the entire market is misunderstanding risk. And I will link to it in the description below, and I'll also link to it at the end of this video so you can take a look at my thoughts on how to think about and analyze risk as it relates to sports cards. So that's it. Short reaction video. Would love to hear your thoughts and comments. And, if Brian Gray sees this, would love to hear his comments as well. But I think it's just fundamentally misunderstanding of previous examples of women in the WNBA having children and then succeeding for years and years and years thereafter. Like 2009 is when Candace Parker had the baby, and then was a top 5 finisher in MVP voting for literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years in a row afterwards. And then also just not understanding Caitlin Clark and her love of basketball. So that's it. That's the video. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Thank you as always for listening and watching. I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers.